Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks and the continuation of my Road to the Leopard 1 series. And yeah, I've been having some pretty bad games in the Indien-Panzer. This is sort of an example of one. A lot of tier 10 matchmaking and tier 9 as well, sort of heavily tier 9. And I do apologise once again for the lack of uploads recently. I know I said that the other day that obviously I've been busy last week and moving furniture around for the new boiler to be fitted, and then that turned into a full-on sort of clear out ready for Christmas, so I've been very, very busy the last few days, but it made me have a sort of forced break from World of Tanks, which I think has done me good with it, because I was getting to a point where I think the only way, I don't know, angry, I don't know, vexed, I think is probably the right word, at the game, and kind of some of the things that Wargaming have been doing recently for, you know, and it, like I say, it's made me have that sort of forced break, and I'm still annoyed at some of the stuff that's been going on, but I've sort of got back into it a bit more, you know, got back in and started playing it, because I got to a point toward the end of last week where I didn't want to play it. I just didn't want to play the game. I was that annoyed, and I've now sort of calmed down a bit and got over it. And it's a few little things. I mean, I normally let a lot slide, and you know, see it from both points of view. It is a business after all. It is a free game. They've got to raise money somehow. But I think what really did me, and it was the thing with the silver earning on Island Race, that really bugged the hell out of me what they did there. And basically by removing one of those spotting bonuses, the spotting bonus ops, by removing one of those and then dropping all the silver earning down to 1.5 instead of 2 times, and there was no need for it. To me personally, it just seemed petty and a little bit spiteful as well, in a way, because it wasn't harming anything or anybody. It wasn't even a glitch as such. It was sort of a workaround, and there was no reason that couldn't be left in for the players. There's a lot of people that put a lot of money into this game with regards to buying premiums, with buying premium time, and there's a hell of a lot of people out there, and most people at least have a bit of premium time on it, or have at least bought the odd premium vehicle here and there. And, you know, they've put time and money into the game, and I think to take that away, there was no need to do that whatsoever, and I think it was unnecessary, and like I say, it really sort of knocked me a lot over that, and it's not just that, it's sort of a combination of things. I think that might have been the sort of straw that broke the camel's back, in a way. But it was other things, like some of the unnecessary buffs and nerfs that happened recently. The Japanese super heavies, why they got buffed, I really don't know. And I think somebody else made the point, it might have been Jack the Ripper possibly a bit back when it happened, about the fact that, you know, PC admitted that was a mistake, so why we then get those buffs, I don't know. And then the pricing on some of the premium tanks that have been coming out recently, for some reason, you know, however it seemed that nearly all the premium tanks that have been coming out recently have been hero tanks. And hero tanks cost more because, you know, they have a skin and they're a hero tank, and I think that's been a bit unnecessary as well. Like I say, I mean, like the HMH tanks, there were supposed to be sort of 2 or 3 of them. They brought those out in a little bundle with the M51 Super Sherman, and then there's been a few others since then that have just been dubbed as HMH tanks and sort of have quite an inflated price tag on them. For what they are, and then you get a plain version or no version. You know, that's it. You either get that version and nothing else, or we'll get a plain version that costs a bit less a few months later. But yeah, I think they need to give it a rest with the hero tanks for a little bit and just do normal premium tanks. You know, at a more adequate sort of cost. That with the M449, I mean, it's a great tank, don't get me wrong, it is a brilliant tank, but the price tag was ridiculous. £50 for that one tank was completely excessive. It really shouldn't have been that. You know, if it's going to be a hero tank at tier 8, 13,000 tops, I would say, something like that maybe. But 15, you know, and even 13,000 is quite expensive, really. But, you know, they say it takes into account the permacam and everything else, but it just... yeah, the price tag was way too high, and the fact that I am going to call pay to win on it, simply because the fact is you pay more for that tank with the extra armour, therefore it is a better tank. You know, there'll be a plain version coming at some point without the camo, without the sandbags, which will cost less, so therefore you are paying more to get a better tank. Hence, you know, that is pay to win. So yeah, there's been a few things recently that have sort of built up, and it, you know, it's been irritating me, and sort of like, oh, you know, thought that's not quite right, or, you know, and like I say, it just sort of built up, and then when they did that with the silver earnings, it got to a point where it's like, you know, I'd almost just had enough. But like I say, I've calmed down a bit now with it and got back into it. I didn't do a garage, sorry, I've been rambling about all sorts over this. I didn't do a garage bit at the beginning of this road to tier 10 because I didn't see much point. I've got it fully upgraded now. I'd got 1,300 XP on it, and it is just the grind to get out of the Indien-Panzer now. And it's not a bad tank. Sometimes it feels a bit sluggish at times. But it's just figuring out how to use it. I think I've figured out how to use it. I just don't always use it in the way that I should. But I have had some awful games in it. I mean, that first game, as you saw, was pretty bad. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they might listen to the pricing things that people have been saying and alter the prices in future. I don't know. But yeah, this is just sort of an indicator. I've been having very average games in it. Sort of, well, I'd say crap to average games in this. And like I say, a lot of high tier matches in it. A lot of high tier. This one, in fact, is a tier 10. I don't do great in it, but it was alright, I think. But anyway, it just sort of shows you what kind of grind I've been having through the Indien-Panzer. And that's what this series is all about. I am going to start the Swedish line soon at some point and run a second sort of road to tier 10 alongside this one with some of those. I don't know if I'm going to go down the TD or the other line first yet. I'm not entirely sure. But it was that as well with the Swedish crews, the band, Sabaton band. 2,700 for a crew is ridiculous. I don't care if it's got brothers in arms on it. I really don't. It's not worth it. That is a very, very high price for a crew. I mean, considering that you can put a crew into a tank fully trained for 1,000 gold, I think 2,700 or 3,000, which is its proper price without the 10% discount, is ridiculously expensive for a crew. And I hope that they don't do anything else like that, because I think that is very overpriced. You know, the special crews, that's fine. Give them with a tank. I think charging that is, you know, quite a lot, really. I mean, considering it's what, it's about what is it? I think, is it £10 for 3,500 gold? So you know, you're talking just under a tenner, sort of £8.50, £9 per crew, which is, again, that's a lot, really. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just one of those things. You know, I enjoy the game. I don't agree with some of the stuff they've done recently, but I still enjoy the game, and I'm not going to stop doing it and sort of doing my channel. Like I said, I've been forced to have a break this week because we've just been unbelievably busy, and it's just left me in quite a lot of pain with my knees. So I want to try and get back up to it. I'm going to try and upload another video tomorrow, which I don't normally do, which will be Saturday, and then obviously back to normal Sunday. I've still got to get another headset, so I'm having to make do with some poor headphones for doing the editing, which is not particularly useful. But yeah, I don't want to stop doing this. Like I say, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to, you know, if I think they've done something wrong, I'm going to say so, and you know, if I don't agree with something that they're doing, I'm going to say so. But I just think they need to sort out the prices on some of these premium tanks that have been bringing out recently. And I've obviously seen that the 1357 has received a buff to its ammo capacity to give it a sort of a higher total damage output. I still don't like that tank. I still don't think it's a very good tank at all. And I still think it, you know, at tier 6 it'd be a decent tank, a decent light tank, but at tier 7 it's a very bad light tank in my opinion. You know, that's my opinion. Yours may differ, but there it is. And I've seen with some of the maps as well, it's something I can't remember if I said it in videos, and I've definitely discussed it with my wife before, about some of the maps shouldn't see higher than a certain tier. Liberty Falls, I didn't think should see higher than tier 6 or 7 maybe. Ensk and Wide Park I definitely thought shouldn't see higher than tier 8. And they've now obviously done that. You know, Ensk and Liberty Falls and White Park, I think it is, don't see any higher than tier 8 now, which is, it's a good thing in one way, because it was needed. In another way, it's a bit bad because obviously we've had a lot of maps removed. We've still not got those back yet. We've had a few new ones added, but it's still not really broken up the map rotation, in my opinion. I still feel as though I'm just keep going on the same maps all the time, and we've still not got those maps back yet. And to then take sort of 4 maps away, I think Pacific Island was one of them as well, so it might even be more than that, but anyway. But then to take those maps away from the tier 9 and 10, so when you're playing in tier 9 and 10, your map rotation is even more limited. So we really do need those other maps back, and I think it's time that they really need to get those other maps back into rotation, because that, you know, that's not helped either. Getting fed up with the map rotation hasn't helped with sort of wanting to play the game. But like I say, I'm sort of, you know, I'm alright. I'm still enjoying it, like I said before, even if I don't agree with some of the things that they're doing. But, you know, I'm in a position, you know, you guys can speak out as well if you don't agree with something that they're doing. There's the forums. You can always go on the World of Tanks console forums, which you can get to through the you know, the portal, the console.worldoftanks.com. And you can get some through there, and you can, you know, you can start a thread off, just saying, you know, I don't agree with this, I think this needs to change, etc. And if you do think there's something that needs to change, say, you know, go and say. But like I say, you know, I'm not going to stop doing my channel, I'm not going to stop doing videos. I've just had to have that break this week because of just not having time to do any videos. But I was getting quite annoyed with the Indien-Panzer yesterday, not because of the game or anything else, just because I was getting annoyed with the Indien-Panzer. I wasn't using it quite right. Decided to try and get down to this guy, charge down him. I was going to try and get around behind him because he, you know, he can't turn his turret all the way round. But then I thought better of it because he was looking in my direction. But I have got some backup coming down now, and I'm just going to wait, try and pen him through there if I can, and just missed, of course. See, it's not too bad, the Indien-Panzer. You can soak a lot of damage up using the tracks if you angle it properly, or you side scraping. It's got very big tracks and they can soak up quite a bit of damage. And it seems to make a sort of fairly adequate medium to long range sniper when needed, namely in the higher tier matches. So it's not too bad. I definitely can't say it's my favourite tank. I don't think it's a bad tank or anything like that. I don't think it's the best tank. I think it could do with a little bit more speed, possibly. Maybe not top speed, but maybe just a bit more acceleration, a bit more engine power. Maybe. I don't know. Like I say, it does feel a bit sluggish at times. Normally going up hills and certain terrain as well, it doesn't seem particularly good on. But yeah, it's not bad. But like I say, not my favourite sort of tank. But I'm kind of enjoying it, if you see what I mean. I find it, me personally, I find the Indien-Panzer a bit of a challenge, but in a good way. It's an interesting tank to use, really, it can be. Sometimes you end up bouncing shots that you really don't expect to. I mean, on paper, its armour's pretty poor, but the upper glacis is quite well angled. Gun depression's not too savage. So it's just one of those things. Seeing if we can get a bit more damage. There's only 2 tanks left on the enemy team now. We have got somebody capping, and I did hit that E100, but I really, yeah, I don't think I'm going to pen with standard ammo at this range. In fact, I'm doubtful as to whether I will with premium, but I've got to hit it first, you know, that'd help. But it looks like we're going to cap out before we can take down the last guy. I think it's T110E5, if I remember rightly, up that end. And, yep, there we go. Capped out for the win on that one. Again, not a great round. Okay-ish. Not too bad for a tier 8 and a tier 10 match. Especially tier 8 with bugger all armour. But still not brilliant. Like I say, just sort of mostly average, with a few crap games mixed in yesterday for me. I filmed most of this yesterday. And I think I've just put one more on the end of here as well. I have, yeah, a tier 8 one again. where I end up more or less defending a side. Not on my own quite. I do have a few shots coming in from the centre of the map, but I'm basically on my own over there. But it's not too bad. It was lower tier stuff, but I was just in a bit of a funny position, or a bit of an awkward position, bit of an awkward tank placement really. You know, wherever I moved, if I stuck out one side, tanks from one direction could shoot at me, the other side others could. So it took a bit of careful positioning and just keeping an eye on where the back of my tank was, not sticking out too far around the rock or, you know, that sort of thing. But I'm going to make my way across to that western side, because nobody else really seems to, and I'm just... You shouldn't really try and guard a flank on your own, but I'm hoping that the people in the centre, if I can spot anything across here, they might be able to shoot at it as well, which wouldn't be too bad, which would help out. But we'll just have to wait and see. But that was the plan. But this is Redshift 1944, so it is a bit different. I've still not... I know I said I'm getting a bit fed up with some of the maps, but this is one that I don't seem to get come up very often in the map rotation. So I've not really been on this one very much. I think this is maybe the 4th time I've been on Redshift 1944. So I'm still a bit unsure about where things have changed quite. But for some reason I just don't seem to get this version of Redshift very often. I get the other one, the original version, more often than this one. And I seem to get Razanai, I think it's Razanai. The one with the big castle, big map, river running down the middle with the big castle over on one side. I think it is Razanai. I seem to get that one a lot. Tier 6, 3001p. Still pen me though. Got a short 88, still got enough to pen me, and now I've got guys. You'll see some shots start to come in from over on that side. Yeah, more or less in front of me over on that hill where they're all hiding, so I need to... This is where I need to start being careful about where I stick out from this rock. Bounced there. I did go out at a bit of a bad angle, to be honest. Just waiting for him to pop back out. But now they've been spotted over on that other ridge, so I'm going to back up a bit, try and side scrape and see if I can hit anything over there. There's a Primo Victoria. Managed to put them through his side and pull back in. A bit of a... I think I over-angled a bit there for the side scrape, and I just donked that one into the rock. Now that VK 3001p is back, see if I can just finish him off. No, a bit slow on the aim in there. Oh, did manage to hit the Swedish though, the Largo, is it? But they've got me pinned down on that side, and now Panther's turned up on this side. See if I can track him and keep him in place, although he's got very good pen on his gun. Yep. Low damage though, but a good rate of fire. Made him back off. Now, where's that 3001p? There he is. Is he coming back out? He is. Can I get him? Ooh, not quite. And I think about pushing forwards and putting that shell in, but that Largo over there, I think he's still got me in his sights. Try and set up for the side scrape again. Missed him, but he missed me. And let's see if we can get this guy to creep back out. He's not doing. And I know that Panther's over here somewhere. I'm going to push out, try and get rid of him. And then back off a bit. Back behind my rock. Now, there's the Panther. He's coming back. Another shot came in then from the TD. And there's a Swedish TD over here now. Tier 7 one, is that one? Yeah. Again, donked the shot a bit. He did manage to pen me. I was a bit over-angled there, to be honest. And the Largo just... No, not a Largo, a Leo. He's managed to track me. The Panther's given me another couple of hits. Maybe finish the Panther off. Not quite. And try and position myself better against the TD, but just couldn't do it, and I get taken down. Now I think that one, was it a win? I think it was. Yeah, it was a victory in the end. One of the better rounds I had yesterday. but still not great. But there you go. That was my sort of continuation of my journey towards the Leopard 1. I'm looking forward to the Leopard PTA, actually. That looks quite good fun. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. I will be back tomorrow with another video, even though it's Saturday. Try and catch up a little bit. So until then, take care out there and I'll catch you next time. See you later.